प्रोफेसर टीपीएस शशि कुमार जी, जो कि एरोस्पेस साइंटिस्ट और वो भी एक लंबे समय तक रहे, और फिर आजकल वो एक मेंटर के रूप में, और मेरे ख्याल उनके अगर आप YouTube पर वीडियोस देखेंगे तो हजारों में उनके यूट्यूब्स जस्ट मोटिवेशनल, और किस तरह से जो अभी एनईपी ने जो सपने दिखाए हैं, ड्रीम्स जो यूथ के हैं, किस तरह पूरे किए जाए, उनकी वो मेंटरिंग करते हैं। और आज उनका भी सानिध्य हम सबको प्राप्त होगा, और उनका जो विषय ज्ञान आज जब उनका उद्बोधन होगा तो आप उससे प्रत्यक्ष रूप से जो है परिचित होंगे। तो ऐसे दोनों ही जो हमारे महान, एक तरह से कहिए जो मुख्य वक्ता, जिनका इस पृष्ठभूमि में जो कि इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम और उसके साथ साइंस को किस तरह से हम जोड़ें, किस तरह से वैज्ञानिक दृष्टि उसमें ला सके, उन एरियाज को देखना समझना, उससे संबंधित हमारा आज जो है वो मार्गदर्शन करेंगे। मैं प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर टीपीएस शशि कुमार जी का भी इस ई संगोष्ठी में स्वागत करती हूँ। आज की संगोष्ठी का अगर हम विषय देखें तो भारतीय ज्ञान प्रणाली एवं विज्ञान, इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम एंड साइंस, जो अतः वैज्ञानिक ज्ञान जो हमारे इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम में है, इसको हम किस तरह से आज अपने वर्तमान शैक्षिक परिदृश्य में इसको प्रासंगिक बना सके, इसको व्यवहारिक बना सके, इसी परिदृश्य में जो है आज की इस ई संगोष्ठी के विषय का जो है अभिकल्पन किया गया। और इसका जो मुख्य उद्देश्य यही है कि जो हमारी भारतीय ज्ञान प्रणाली है और उसमें निहित जो वैज्ञानिक ज्ञान है, उनके उससे संबंधित उनकी अवधारणाओं को, सिद्धांतों को, नियमों को चिन्हित करना, और फिर उसको आज के एक वर्तमान शैक्षिक परिदृश्य में उसको किस रूप में हम प्रासंगिक बनाएंगे, इस तरफ जो है एक दिशा प्रदान करना। और इसी पर आधारित आज हमारे इस ई संगोष्ठी में 2 सत्र होंगे। पहले सत्र में हम भारतीय वैज्ञानिक विरासत एक व्यापक दृष्टि, डॉक्टर टीपीएस शशि कुमार जी इसमें हमारा मार्गदर्शन करेंगे, और दूसरा जो हमारा सत्र होगा कि उपनिषद में हम किस तरह से गणित और भौतिक विज्ञान को देखेंगे, इस पर हमारी जो है वो चर्चा जो है वो होगी। और मैं आशा करती हूँ कि दोनों ही सत्र इस संदर्भ में आप सभी को ओरिएंट ही नहीं अपितु एक इंसाइट भी प्रदान करेंगे।
आपका प्रथम सत्र में, इस ई संगोष्ठी के प्रथम सत्र में आप सभी का हम पुनः स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन करते हैं। और जैसे कि मैम ने आपको बता ही दिया है कि जो आज इस सत्र के हमारे विषय विशेषज्ञ हैं, डॉक्टर टीपी शशि कुमार, एक्स डायरेक्टर एकेडमिक स्टाफ कॉलेज, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैलिकट, केरला। सर, आपका हमारे विश्वविद्यालय की तरफ से, शिक्षण अधिगम केंद्र की तरफ से, अमिता मैम की तरफ से, प्रतिभागियों की तरफ से तथा मेरी तरफ से हार्दिक हार्दिक स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन सर। इस सत्र को प्रारंभ करने के लिए सर का संक्षिप्त परिचय देना चाहूंगी, पर सर का जो परिचय है वो सूरज को दीपक दिखाने जैसा है, पर फिर भी ये दृष्टता मैं करना चाहूंगी। Sir was worked as a scientist in space department for 2 decades, and he was director at Academic Staff College under UGC at University of Calicut, and was deputy director at Directorate General of Security, Cabinet Secretariat, New Delhi, before taking a voluntary retirement in 2009. Sir, आप शारीरिक, भावनात्मक और बौद्धिक, सामाजिक और आध्यात्मिक रूप से संतुलित जीवन में विश्वास रखते हैं, और जिसके लिए आप क्रिएटिव थॉट्स लीडर्स एंड क्रिएट स्पिरिट इन यूथ पर अपने अनुबोधनों से युवाओं तथा शिक्षकों को हमेशा अभिप्रेरित करते हैं। आप छात्रों और शिक्षकों से हमेशा जुड़े रहते हैं। आप उनकी जो व्यवसायिक संबंधी समस्याएं हैं या विषयगत समस्याएं, जीवन से संबंधित समस्याओं का निदान उनसे मिलकर या फोन पर या सोशल मीडिया पर, वेबसाइट के माध्यम से निरंतर निदान प्रदान करते हैं। आप आध्यात्मिक गुरु के रूप में भी जाने जाते हैं, और आप जैसे वैज्ञानिक, विज्ञान के ज्ञाता तथा आध्यात्मिक गुरु को हमने अपने मध्य पाकर सर हम हर्ष और गौरव का अनुभव करते हैं, और आपका हम पुनः स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन करते हैं। सर, आज हमें इंडियन साइंटिफिक हेरिटेज एंड ओवरव्यू पर हमारा ज्ञान संवर्धन करेंगे। Welcome, sir, and over to you.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimidandasya Nananjana Shalagaya Chakshurunmidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmat Acharya Paryandam Vande Guru Parampara. Krishna. Namaskaram and thank you, Professor Amidaji, and nice introduction by Tamannaji. I am not seeing any faces. Generally, online is a very boring job, especially when people are present only with the computers and not with the physical body. I don't know whether people sleep or give attendance for certificates. We had a wonderful introduction by Amidaji. I don't think I have to give another introduction on scientific heritage of India. I was just collecting my old write-ups and notes. I prefer people, when they attend classes, I also have white paper and pen. So when Amitabh ji was telling, I was writing notes, picking up some old chits and then putting them in together. What a beautiful introduction. I don't think I can give a better one than this. I am not that organized as probably what Amidaji is. Yesterday I had a beautiful evening. I stay in Kerala now, though I am in Hyderabad otherwise. I came to Kerala and there is one program which is called Gajotsav, Gaja Utsav, Hastika festival. In that my talk was on Sanatana Dharma and elephant. So I was thinking on that. In Hindu Bharatiya Sanatana Dharma, what are the roles of elephants? I am sure all of us start thinking in many lines and looking around different temples in India. We can speak for hours together on this topic. The same day, in 2016, I was attending a program in Institute of Public Enterprises in Hyderabad that was on world-class manufacturing, which is talking about management science, which is also talking about electronic mechanical engineering, in which during the seminar I was talking about Indian heritage. So you can see the variety of things where we can connect. The ultra modern, the world-class manufacturing techniques also has some reference. There are two sets of people in India. People say that India's contribution to science is a big zero because they don't believe. And we have another set of class people who says India's contribution to science is zero. Zero is the contribution. Without zero, nothing works in this world, right? It is not true that we know everything. It is not true that we had nothing. Sanatanam means which stays for long years. Nitya Nutana plus Chirapuratana. Ever fresh. And also, it is the most modern, most advanced. Sarvatra Nutanam Shastram Sevakena Puratanam. Because of practice, it has become so old, but the freshness has not lost. So that means it is ever demanding. It has got relevance. But how many people understood this is a big question. Just now, the beginning of this program, I was praying. The prayer has a lot of science within that. Guru Brahma. Brahma is not the God. It is the concept behind the God. Brahma generally people understand as the God of creation. Creation has to happen. The energy which Amidaji was mentioning, the energy, Urja concept. That energy is called creativity. So Brahma is the God of creativity. So Guru Brahma, who is my Guru? My creativity is my Guru. What a great concept in the beginning itself. I can explain each line by line, word by word. It has a lot of science within that. Take the next sloka which I chanted. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Next line start with Atnana Timirandasya. What is Timiram? Timiram is cataract. Atnanam is not having knowledge or no clear view of what is around you. Atnanam is like a cataract. What is cataract? Cataract is when things are blurred. You are not able to visualize things clear. So Atnanam is considered as, what a great concept by the poet. But science is, that's philosophical. But next line, Nananjana Shalagaya, give knowledge. And what is knowledge there? It is Nananjana Shalagaya Chakshur Unmilidam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. It's a kajal given to your eyes. When you apply that kajal, you will get the vision better. So what is knowledge? Knowledge is like a medicine for cataract. See, there is a science within this. What is generally taken poetry when people write poems is simile which is practiced in and around you when you are living. So poet takes an example from the practical world and says you can remove your cataract through a application of a medicine. That means when this poet wrote this poem, there were medicines for cataract in India. Today cataract can be removed only by surgery. We don't have that, medicine is lost. Once upon a time it was there. So you can imagine if you analyze line by line, that is where I think the center like this, where we are discussing this subject with great potential spirit for research, each line by line, let it be a prayer. Take line by line, understand it. Your subject of specialization can be biology, zoology, maybe a practitioner as a doctor, but go through lines in between. You will find science within that. I keep saying morning we go to temple, have a beautiful prayer. Every priest keep chanting. And analyze it. Because of them it is existing for long years. But they may not have that ability to understand, analyze. But we as academicians, it's our pride that we have such great knowledge. Don't think that it is only a prayer. No, it's not a prayer alone. Before going to temple, or maybe when you talk about Indian tourism, you can see people taking water in the hand and then pouring back in the water, cleaning the water before taking a dip. Everybody knows you cannot clean the water by just putting your hand like this. The idea is your hand touches the water in which you are going to take a dip. The temperature of the water gets adjusted to the body temperature and you will not get a shock or a shiver. You get adjusted to the water. The hand is the best conductor for understanding temperature of your body, or understand in which water you are going to take bath so that the body temperature will get adjusted. Pure health science. And while taking bath, you have a small chanting which is to be chanted, and that is regarding water. And that says, Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Guru. It says, every water in this world is one and the same. The content is same. Every water, let it be Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Godavari, Narmada, Sindh, Kaveri, doesn't matter. Water is one and the same. I am taking water for my bath from the bathroom. Consider that as the water which is from Ganga. Because sun evaporates water from every part of the globe. It all mixes in the upper atmosphere and then it showers in different places. That means water is one and the same. So they understood that there is no difference between different water. I am taking bath in all these rivers. With that concept, I take bath in the water which is I am carrying in a bucket of water, or maybe which comes through a pipe. And you are also learning geography of India. All the river names, all the state names are also covered. East, west, north, south, everywhere. Ganga, you must understand Kailash. That is supposed to be the center of the world. We had a Greenwich meridian even before the Greenwich had its meridian, and that was connecting Kailash to Sri Lanka. Langa Vatsyapura Vandis Taneshwara Suralayan, and Vatsyapura, it is passing through Vatsyapura. Where is Vatsyapura? Madhya Pradesh. Vatsyapura is very famous in a different name. Anybody could give me the name? Let us not be a dialogue, because you can listen to me on my videos which are available. But I want to be like a dialogue. Anybody who can tell me which is the place Vatsyapura? I am sure all of you must have heard the name of Vatsyayan. But there is a place which is called Vatsyapura. Anyone? Anyone? Vatsyapuram is Khajuraho. Every pose in which a dancer can pose, you can see a statue in Khajuraho. And that is the beauty of Khajuraho, and that is the beauty of Vatsyayana's depiction of different postures. So, if you look at, we had Lanka, Vatsyapura Vatsyapura, that place connected with Lanka. Consider that there are two sticks and then connect with a Surya thread. The world is divided into east and west. That means it was like a Greenwich. The zero meridian was in India. When you give the geography, we keep saying that Brahmandanam Madhye, in the whole Brahmanda, in the center of that. So the cosmology is understood. Amidaji was mentioning about the nakshatra, graha, which comes in astrology and astronomy. Even every prayer we had this. The Rahu Kedu, which is not a real planet but it is a shadow effect of moon and the sun, was understood. The electromagnetic energy in which the moon influences every living being because of its gravity is understood. Therefore, what could be the psychological impact which a human being will have, or other animals will have, plants will have during the ecliptic time is also mentioned. Understood what is eclipse. So it was not a pure science, it was not a pure bhakti or chanting for making the so-called celestial gods happy. No, it was for every practical human being who are in this world, for their psychological, philosophical, social, health concept. So while praying, you see that there is great science within that. Every priest is supposed to clean themselves. The cleaning is not the body cleaning. It is actually physical, emotional, intellectual, social, spiritual cleaning. The fivefold development. There is a beautiful cleaning, Sapta Shuddhi, which says, Pranavana Vyanodhana Samaname Shuddhyandam, Jyotiraham Viraja Vibhatma Bhuya Sangha Swaha. Vak, the word comes from my tongue. But the origin is in the manas, mana. There is no English translation. People keep translating mana into mind. Mind means then people connect it to thinking. No. In Eastern science, our Bharatiya Shastra Sankalpa, mana, emotion comes from the manas. The Western world started putting it into the feeling mind and the thinking mind. And it is connected to brain. No. But we did not connect it to the brain. Because what happens is, any feeling comes, definitely your heartbeat will change. That is why when we have feeling, definitely we put the symbol of heart. So in Bharatiya Shastra, we understood that everyday activity is due to the mana, the consequence of manas. Therefore Shankara says, manam darpana samanam. How do you become a evolved, spiritual, enlightened Atmiya Purusha? Only when mana darpana samanam. The mind has to be like a mirror. Don't keep your past. Don't think about the future. The small line, mana darpana samanam. You know what a beautiful concept is that? The mirror will reflect only when you are standing in front. It has no past and the future. Only present is there. So how do you explain the presence of present in your life? The best method is to tell that you are like a person who reflects like a mirror. Who else can do this? What a great psychology is this? What a great philosophy is this? What a great life science is given here. Manam darpana samanam. And this mind is well connected to, in astrology, with Rahu and Ketu. Specifically Rahu, the moon and the sun position. So in which moon has got great influence on your manas. Moon is called Manakarakan. The reason for your emotions is moon. That is what it says. So where does these interpretations and shlokas and pujas, etc. come from? It's all from the Vedas. The Rig Veda, the most theoretical, Yajur Veda, the practical aspect, Sama Veda, the marketing aspect. Atharva Veda is a different culture by itself. Probably Atharva Veda would have come earlier and then Rig, Yajur, Sama would have come later. Then we have Brahmanas, the Rigvediya Brahmana, Yajurvediya Brahmana, Samavediya Brahmana and Atharvediya Brahmanas. And then Aranyakas, Upanishads, for each Veda related to Upanishads. Upavedas, each Upaveda is a great science. From all these, what comes to a practical aspect in life which can be directly applied, like a workbook in life. For science people, they have a workbook, practical workbook. You can see Arthashastra, full of economics. And we don't have to go very far to find out what India had. Kaudilya is good enough. The other day I was mentioning about the elephant concept in war. The philosophy department had got World Philosophy Day celebration in Darjeeling, West Bengal University. I was there last month. I was mentioning about how do people predict which king will win. Just count the number of elephants. There is a great statement by Kaudilya. He was not only an economics man, he was also a political advisor. He knew how to predict the success in a war. So Arthashastra is not just economics, it is also political science. Dhanurveda, the formations in which the war formations, there is a beautiful book written by one of our veteran army person who, I think it's published by Bharati Vidya Bhavan Publications, in which you can see the war concepts in Mahabharata and then how it is being applied in the modern war field. I am sure nobody will contest when somebody talks about Ayurveda is as fresh as it was being practiced. It has got different aspects including surgery. Sthabhatya Veda, the construction science, architecture. Everybody is coming back to the traditional construction style in which the Panchabhutas, all the different elements in the Prakriti, how do you become environment friendly? How do we live in a situation where our health is taken care of by the architect itself? The architecture is well aware of the health science so that he can plan the construction accordingly. Even including the profession in which I am involved is considered for making the dimensions of the rooms. Suppose I am a politician, I need a large entry room wherein I have a lot of guests. But if I am not into that profession, I am a worker, probably I need a place where I can keep the tools. So the dimensions of the rooms are designed by the profession in which I am involved. So what a great science is the construction engineering. Sthabhatya Vedam. And Sthabhatya Vedam is now practiced in the term of Vastu, which is actually what happened to India, where we lost. We lost science because it has been given in the hands of people who did not really had any expertise or experience. They were just mugging up a theory or probably heard say. What is heard from somebody is being repeated without even understanding. Bharatiya Shastram always believes in understanding the concept. It is not the Vidya which is certificate and knowledge. There is a lot of difference. Understood the difference between the knowledge and the certificate. One should not do anything for certificates, it should be for knowledge. So Darshana Shastras, Nyaya Darshana, Sankhya Darshana, Vaisheshika, Yoga Darshana, the Patanjali, most famous people talk about, the other day I was in a public program in which I asked who is the master of yoga. Everybody knows Patanjali, everybody knows. Then people keep repeating, chanting the mantra before the yogasana. But I don't know how many people really understood. We have taken for granted it has all become rituals. The yoga has become a ritual. People will keep praying even without understanding what is being chanted before the circus which is done, which is most famous, which is called the yogasana. Actually, Patanjali will commit suicide if we see people doing this. It was not intended to do only yogasana. Yoga is yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. It was for all holistic development of life, in which third step is only asana. So what is being chanted to there? What is our scientific heritage? Each line by line, understand, listen to that carefully, word by word. Yogena chittasya. The yoga was for mana. Chittam is manas, not for physical practice. But see what is happening around this country today. Everyone who learns yoga, some circus, keeping the head down and the leg up, Shirshasana. I don't know which Patanjali has defined Shirshasana. It is not at all there. Patanjali's Yoga Sutra is not having Shirshasana. But Shirshasana is given as a great practice. We don't see any statues of gods. So what we have happened? Why am I saying this? We have diluted Indian science by making it mixing with the different systems and then marketing around the world. Therefore, people are unhappy because we are neither there in the modern world, we are not in the heritage world. We have lost our connection. We have not reached where we have to reach. So I am sure the Indian knowledge system learning, if it is handled perfectly, understood specifically very well, with a lot of creativity in analyzing, criticizing, judging, comparing, evaluating. There are a lot of different structure. Tarkashastram is actually Tarkam. Unless you have sufficient knowledge, you cannot do on a... So the knowledge system was, how to learn was a great knowledge. Upanishad. It is not listening to lecture like this. Upanishad. We don't see that in our classrooms today. So pathetic has become Indian education system. I am sure I am talking to teachers. We don't even respond. No questions comes. If there is no question, why do we talk about Veda and Upanishad? Upanishad is question answer. Every teacher is, 1 hour is given, finish my syllabus. No use. Upanishad is much more important. For every Veda we had hundreds of Upanishads. Why? Because each student interpreted, judged, critically evaluated, created questions. Upanishad, sit beside. Sit beside. Upanishad, sit beside. You should have questions. So every lecture is only an introduction. How many students go to the teacher's room and then ask questions? If you ask questions, and that becomes a notebook for you. How many people will write notebooks? I am not talking from air. I have got a notebook from where I have learned from my guru. Because I need to refer it in case if I have got some questions which I cannot answer. That is why Sadashiva Samarambha, Shankaracharya Madhyama, Asmat Acharya Paryandam, the end. Do you think the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra is being read by the so-called Yoga Acharya? Learn yoga, teach yoga. Learn in 3 months and then teach in another lifetime. No. Yogena chittasya. It is only for mind, not for physical exercise. Padena vaja. Patanjali was a great communicator. He taught communication skill to people. Padena vaja. The word, how to put them. What a great knowledge he had. Otherwise, Sutram cannot be written. How precisely, how concise is the script in which the whole message is being given. Malam sharirasya vaidyagena. The dirt in the body needs to be cleaned like a vaidya, a doctor. So he was an Ayurvedic expert. How many people who practice yoga understood that? He was a great communicator, he was a great Ayurvedic doctor, and he was also a psychologist. That is there in the bhajan, the chanting, the ritualistic, useless repetition of slokas by most of the people. They don't even look at it. So science is lost. That's why science is lost. So what is scientific temper? What is Indian knowledge system? What is critical thinking? The other day in the philosophy, I was talking about the ability for critical thinking, asking questions, Tarka Shastra. All the darshanas, darshana itself is philosophy, Nyaya darshana, logic. Bharatiya Shastram never asked people to believe because he is the head of the department, listen to him. No. He is the vice chancellor, whatever he says is the ultimate word. No. Don't listen to Guru and think that whatever he says is correct. Don't even believe to Brahma itself if he comes and then speaks to you. Ask question, clarify, understand. There has to be logic. Without logic, don't understand anything. Yukti yuktam upadeyam vajanam balagadabi anyatranamavatyajam apyuktam brahmagadabi. Even Brahma comes and says, don't believe him, ask question. Realize the logic behind it. Realize. Understand. Don't learn. Learning is a brain activity. When it comes to mana, I understood. I learned this for certificate. I understood this for, with a lot of questions will come definitely. The my Nyayam will be different. Gaudaman was one of the greatest Nyaya Darshana person. And then use logic, Kabila, Sankhya Shastram. We had expert specialized department heads for them. I don't know how many people have read this. Vaisheshikam, the Kanadas. Yoga Darshanam by Patanjali. So it is not yoga, it is Yoga Darshanam. The philosophy of yoga to be understood. So don't say Patanjali was the yoga expert with a lot of exercise. No, Yoga Darshanam. Darshanam is philosophy. Sudarshanam means the best philosophy. That was the weapon for Ishvara, Krishna. So Krishna was a great philosopher. So with that philosophy he could make people to act. And Purva Mimamsas, Jaimanika, Uttara Mimamsa by Vyasa. And then what is heard? The Smritis, Idihasa Puranas. If you look at each one of them, what is that science and philosophy, what is explained in sloka by sloka? I was there in Fiji for a Ramayana conference, in the ICHR conference. I don't know how many people understood that there is a great length in which Ramayana explains about the footwear of Rama. I stay in a place in Kerala where we have got a Bharata temple. The Bharata has gone to meet Rama and then got the footwear. The footwear, imagine, and the lines are so good that the grammar, where Amidaji was mentioning about the beauty of the grammar, if you reverse the lines, you have a different meaning, which also becomes a prayer. The word line by line, letter by letter, you reverse it. There are beautiful slokas in which you get a different meaning and that becomes a prayer for God. And the other becomes story. The other day, I went for a talk and the driver was asking few questions. So I told him I love you so much than the people who listen to my lectures. Because it was 1 hour drive. So he was asking me the beauty of Ramayana. I said you must visualize the Ramayana as a great drama in front of you. So after the war, Rama goes and then gives a thanksgiving word to Hanuman. So what generally we say? Oh, Amidaji called me for a lecture. So let me also give you a return call. Let me of some help to you. So generally we return. So if Hanuman has helped Rama, what Rama should tell at the end of the story? Yeah, please, I will help you when you require some help. Assume God comes and tells you that when you require some help, come to me. When do we go to God? When we have trouble. Assume a police tells that no, when you require me, come to me. That means what? You are in a case. A person who runs a chit fund or a bank says that come to me, that means you are in financial trouble. An advocate asks you, come and meet me, means you are having some legal problem. A doctor says come once in a while, that means you have health problem. So if the Ishvara, Bhagavan, says that, no, so Vatmiki created that atmosphere where Hanuman comes and stays, Rama is in front, the dialogue is supposed to happen, immediately Vatmiki the poet cuts that scene and then gives a great philosophy there. Narah pratyubagararthi vipattim abhikamchati. If somebody is giving a return gift, a word that you come to me when you require some help, as if it is expecting the other person to be in trouble. So my guru taught me, my Vedic study, Brahmasri KPC Anijan Bhattadari. He keeps on telling all the time, you must pray that let me be of no use to anyone in this world. I should not pray that let somebody use me every now and then. No, it should not happen. Every people who are in contact with me have to be self-sufficient so that they will not come back to me. What a great philosophy is this. You can imagine one line in Ramayana can be a great lesson for life. How to deal with the people, the social life. So physical, emotional, intellectual, social, spiritual aspects. But you need a different mind. You need a different gurutvam. Not normal teachers can teach this. You need a different style. I got my samadhi. I got my samadhi from Himalayan tradition, Swami Rama. We have not read the book. Read Living with the Himalayan Masters from Swami Rama, Himalayan tradition. Once upon a time he was the Kanchi Madhadipati for the one of the sub-centers of Shankara's traditional ashram. He left that. He is the only one who left the Madhadipati position because he loved to teach silence. What is silence? Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. The 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Where does it start with? Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So I am in a violent state of confusion and ending with a silence. That is what is Bhagavad Gita. So if you understood Bhagavad Gita like that, I am sure you understand Bhagavad Gita as a psychology science. What happened today? It has been in the hands of people who knows only bhakti, no logic. Second chapter is full of science. It is logic. So if second chapter is not understood, you will only talk about bhakti in Bhagavad Gita but not logic. So it's a great psychology book. I got diverted, I am sure, because of my path was going towards philosophy, psychology. My intention was, when I take a bath, I said we will clean water and then take a dip. Go to temple for a prayer. Bharatiya Shastra is there. Physics is there. While taking bath, what do we chant? Yojananam sahasre dveshade dveja yojane ekena nimishardhena kramamana namastute. Yojananam, yojana is the distance measurement like kilometer, meter. Yojananam sahasre dve, 2000. Sahasre dve, 2000. Yojananam sahasre dveshade dveja yojane, 2202 yojanas. How much is one yojana? 12.11 kilometer. National Science Academy identified the yojana is 12.11 kilometer because Ramayana also says this much yojana from Rameshwaram to Lanka. Hanuman jumped. So measure that distance, divide and then find out in kilometers, conversion to yojana with all the geographical, geophysical, plate movements. What made it to be away from those days, maybe 16 lakhs of years back where the land was. It needs great connection of different subjects together. Archaeology, not enough. History, not enough. Textbooks and slokas and poetry, not enough. Great physics, everything has to be mixed together. So you need to be a great scientist, not a specialized, compartmentalized art and science separate. No, it has to be together. Art and science is today. BSc means science, BA means art. No. Once upon a time, art and science had no difference. That is why Natya becomes Natya Shastram. Shastram is different. What is Shastram? Don't translate Shastram into science. Sakshat Anubhava Drushto, na Sruto, na Gurudarshitaha, Lokanam Upakaraya, Etat Sarvam Pradarshitam. Nagarjuna, the great scientist of chemistry, life science, fertilizer is a company in Andhra Pradesh is also called Nagarjuna Fertilizer. Nagarjuna Chemical, Nagarjuna Petrochemical. Why Nagarjuna's name is kept for petrochemical and fertilizer company? Because he was that Nagarjuna Ayurveda center. Because he was a medical practitioner. So people still know. And what Nagarjuna says? Lokanam upakaraya. Whatever is useful for human being is what is called science. So if I can get a solace, happiness, my mind, my buddhi is vibrant and then making me panic. My emotions are uncontrollably sad. I can see a beautiful dance and become happy. Therefore, music is Shastram, dance is Shastram. That is why psychology is Shastram. Economics is a great Shastram. But BA Economics was given. Great that in India we have few colleges where BSc Economics is also given today. So this categorization should be understood very carefully in Bharatiya Shastra. Wherever logic is there, wherever people can use it, that becomes Shastra. So you see, when you go to temple, they chant mantra. If you understand the logic behind it, Yojananam sahasre dveshate dveja yojane ekena nimishardhena kramamana namastude. I salute you, O son, who comes from so far. How much? 2202 yojana. That means 2202 multiplied by 12.11 kilometers divided by ekena nimishardhena. Distance is given, time is given. Every physics fellow will divide that and find the velocity. So 12.11 multiplied by 2202 divided by 0.14 second. Distance and time, velocity of light. That is modern velocity of light. The distance from sun to moon, moon to earth, everything was understood. It's all 100 times. Multiply 108 times. Sun to earth, 108 times of the diameter of sun. Moon to earth, 108 times of the diameter of moon. Our Purana Idihasa talks about this. That means astronomy we had great knowledge. What else is required? So, understand all that planetary positions have got influence on me. We say Brahmandana Madhye, Jambudyube, Asia, Bharatagande, Meroha Dachine Parshve, Meru is Kailash, Dachinam, south of that, then Dagaranye, and if I am from Kerala, and if I am from Hyderabad, different chanting. Your position, latitude, longitude, where you are, your location is identified. Godavari Parshve, if I am near Godavari, Godavari Parshve, if I am in Kerala, Parashurama Deshe, if you are in Delhi, Yamuna Parshve, give the address. So time and space connected to you. How the time is connected? The whole universe created the time, and from that connected to Kalikalam. What a beautiful structure in which the yugas are being categorized. Multiples of 10. 4,32,000 years. And then multiply by 2, multiply by 3, multiply by 4. You get Kalikala, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga. So that multiply by 10, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So 10. So multiply by 10 will become 1 Mahayuga. 2 days of Mahayuga. multiply by 100, 365 multiplied by 120. 1 Manvantara. The whole time span, not from the yugas, even up to the small multiple factor of 0.0000, how many zeros you can take? That much. Where do you get this reference? Go to any temple, you can see people chanting this. Ekam cha dasham cha shatam cha shadam cha sahasram cha ayudam cha prayudam cha niyudam cha vayudam cha kayudam cha 1, 10, 100,000, it goes like this. So the prayer was with the mathematics, geometric progression, arithmetic progression. Ekachame trishyachame panchachame saptachame navachame ekachame. So velocity of light in physics, chanting with the mathematics. Anu, Kanadan, Anu. Atoms were known. The size of atoms were known. I don't think a chemistry professor today can show the students atom with the naked eye. But we had science in which atom was shown in classrooms without any other instrument. No microscope, only Mendelscope. Buddhi is good enough. Buddhi is good enough. So if you have the ability to think, and if your brain is working, and if you are a creative person, you are that efficient to imagine things where probably equipments cannot make you to understand that well. Those sciences with a lot of creative thinking, critical thinking. How do we understand this? In today's learning mechanisms where we don't even understand, don't even imagine, we don't analyze, we don't visualize things. So the traditional learning was visualizing. If you are not able to visualize, learning doesn't happen. So what is learning? Learning is the ability to visualize. That is why we had ability to understand by the lot of logical reason. We know that sunlight is not a single light. Look at the sky, you will see different colors. So colors are not from the sky, it is the reflection of the sun which comes. So how many? We understood it was 7. So did we had a prism or a spectrometer in our traditional Bharatiya Shastra? Don't ask this question. What is spectrometer called in traditional Shastra? If you ask like that, you don't believe that system, you will believe on. You should ask the other way. What is that mission which was invented in Bharat, which later was called spectrometer? It was called Dantopramapakam Yantram. Dantopramapakam Yantram. It was mentioned in Amshubodhini, Bharadwaja's Amshubodhini. So it is not one equipment. We also had equipments. And this equipment is 109th equipment. So there is a sloka which says Navottara Shatatmakam, 109th equipment, Dvatrimsha Samyuktam, 32 spare parts are connected together to make it. What does it do? Tamo Bheda Pradarshakam. The sunlight is split into different parts. Yandra Sarvasve Dhimataha. In Yandra Sarvasva textbook it is mentioned, and that equipment is called Dandvapramapakam Yandram. So what is spectrometer? That is spectrometer, where the light can be split into different parts. You don't require big equipments if you have got a great brain. Jalandaragade bhanau. A light is passed through the water. Jala andara gade bhanau. Yat sushmam drishyate rajaha. Clearly look at it, you will see small particle moving. Even today we will see in a dark room when a split of light comes, you will see some particle moving there. It's not dust. It is called rajaha. Tasya trimshattamo bhagaha. Divided that into 300 pieces. Tasya trimshattamo bhagaha paramanu ridis pradaha. That is what is paramanu. What a great knowledge is that. So atoms were shown. Plantations. We knew that we had tree which understand directions. We knew that how to plant trees, germination how is to be done. Assume that you want the germination to happen faster. You need to put ice cubes, put the seed inside that, germination will become faster. And if you have a plant in which the branch is going towards southward, you wanted to bud that branch to another branch, don't bud it in different direction, because the plant acclimatized with the direction in which it is growing. See, you understood the psychology of plant also, the biology of plant. Vriksha Ayurveda, the science is Vriksha Ayurveda. Yesterday I was mentioning about Gaja Ayurveda in my talk. And that we knew that the direction of earth, where the sun comes from, Udayo yo Langayam, when in Langa it is early morning. So Astamaye Savidureva, evening it will be in Rome. Siddhapure Madhyano, in Siddhapura, Gulf it is Madhyanam. So we know Langa in which longitude, Gulf in which longitude, and Yavakodiyam in the other side, Romagadeshe, in the other side it is night. Vishaya Ardharatram Syat, it could be Ardharatri in the other part of the world. That means we know the earth was globe. So it is not that even today, it's so sad that even today in this third decade of 21st century, people still believe, there are scientists who still believe earth is flat. But we had this knowledge long back. Environment science, fantastic knowledge. The belief of Bharatiya Dharma Shastra, my guru keeps saying Bharatiya Dharma Shastra is only Ishta Purtam. Two things, what is for me, what is for general public. And in Purta Karma, environment science is described in the Purta Karma. If your environment friendly, sustainable development programs are part of your daily life, then you will get moksha. You do puja and japa and do everything for your selfish benefit. It is called Ishta Karma. Ishtade labade surgam purte mokshama vapniyat. You want moksha, do Purta Karma. What is Purta? Vapi kupa tadakani devadana anicha anna pradana mudyanam Purta mitya vidiyade. You should have well, pond, rivers, clean it up. Annapradana Mudyanam, plant trees which will give fruits. If you do such things, then you become an environmentalist. Such people get moksha, happiness, because you are not living for your selfishness, you are living for somebody else. Is it not a great environment science? We are talking about SDG now. And which year this is written? Who has written this? The answer should be second alphabet in our mother tongue. So I am sure we had such science which connects environment science, chemistry, great scientists. You take the list of scientists to understand what is the science. Varahamihira, Charaka, Patanjali, Baudhyayana, Kaudilya, Aryabhata, then Lalacharya, Susruta, Nagarjuna, Mayan is the architecture, Sthapata Veda, Mahavira, Kanadan, Kadapayadi number system. If you learn music, in the second chapter of music, you will see Kadapayadi number system, the mathematics of music. The Melakarta Ragam is named under Dhira Shankara Varnam because Ra and Dha is 29 to 9. So 92 is written reverse and read. That number system is Kadapayadi. Ka, Ta, Pa, Ya, da. Shashi means my name is Shashi. Shashi means 55. Ka, kha, ga, kha. Continue that. Pa, pha, ba, pha, ma, ya, ra. Then up to 9. Ya, di, ya, ra, la, va. Up to 9. So all that together you get 0 to 9 numbers. Put them together. And that is how the number system was developed. My guru was a great expert on Kadapayadi number system. And memory was so sharp because you convert that number into slokas. Small slokas were easy to remember. So Kadapayadi, Madeshwara, Nilakantha. I stay in a place which is called Iringyalakuda, Kudal Manikyam. And it has another name that's called Sangameshwara. Because the temple is the Sangama Bhumi of 3 different rivers. After the Sangam in Allahabad, we have a Sangam in Kerala. All sacred rivers join in this place where I am staying now, where I am talking to you from this place called the Sangama Gramam. And there is a great mathematician's house very nearby this. Sangama Grama Madhavan. He is the man who invented pi, the circumference of circle. Look at Sangama Grama Madhava. His house is very few yards away from my house. So this tradition of knowledge, it is not imagination. Jatyanta parinamam prakrityat purat. Jatyanta parinamam prakrityat purat. Darwin's principle. What a great knowledge. The Darwin, we have given all the credit. No, it is there. If you look at Kumara Sambhavam, if you look at Vikramaditya's, the Brahmagupta's textbooks, you will see great principles which are, we credit them to the 21st century Western experts, Big Bang Theory. Kalidasa's Kumara Sambhavam clearly explains this. Yadamokham tadandaruktam bijam ajatvayam yadascharacharam vishwam. The whole Vishwa came from Yatamogam tadandaruktam bijam. From a small bijam, from a small seed, the whole Vishwa came. Is it not Big Bang Theory? And the credit is not for Kalidasa. You know what he says? Prabhavastasya, those people who had great knowledge, iti giyate, they sing like this. So he is only referring to those gurus from where he learned this, where he understood this. So when you read one textbook in Bharatiya Shastram, don't ignore line by line. Look at each word by word. Take reference. Go back. Then you will understand lot of things. I don't think people, if I am not done today, I am so upset to see the way in which yoga is being spread. That is why India's happiness index is so bad. People are so sick. Because we overdo things because it is being marketed so well. I don't know how politicians can be the master of yoga. It doesn't go together. But we credit that to somebody else, and then tomorrow we may put the name of those politicians also because he marketed it well. If somebody has read the Charaka Samhita Sutra Sthana, in which it says Adivyayama madakaso jara shardischa jayate hridaya dyuparodascha idi vyayama lakshanam. Somebody keeps asking, I have so and so problem, shall I practice breathing practice? I said don't, because you are not living in a place where environment is so clean. So if environment is not clean, you take a deep breath, all the pollutants you are taking inside your lungs, you will become more sick. The deep breath can be taken only in a place where it is clean, serene. Environment has to be seen first. Otherwise, he says, Adivyayama madakaso. If you do Adivyayama, your exertion and insertion becomes too deep. Mata kaso jwara shardischa jayate. What you will get is all the respiratory system will start misbehaving and you can become sick. If you do yoga in the normal practice, you can become healthy. But you do in the wrong way, the exercise itself can make you sick. Prana yamena yuktena. Pranayama done in the normal style. Pranayamena yuktena sarvaroga samaraha. All the disease can be taken care of. Ayuktabhyasa yogena. Do it in a wrong way. Sarvaroga samudbhavaha. All the disease will start coming to you. Hadayoga Pradipika says this. You must check. We have been misutilizing Indian science and giving those license for people who have half learned certificate programs. We need to take care of this. I am sure the new initiative of Government of India for Indian knowledge system, the word is knowledge system, will create quality people so that we take care of our health system perfectly, we create happiness among people, we create understanding of science in the normal style. I don't think I have to talk about metallurgy, chemistry, because what we see in Delhi, the unrusted iron pillar, which is the symbolic representation of metallurgy and chemistry, where the coating is given micro thickness, where people cannot remove that because there is so much attached to the ceiling of that is like so transparent. It's like a varnish given, the wood picture is not damaged. The metallic structure is not damaged by the plating done so thin. People have scratched it and taken and then tried. It never, they couldn't do anything. There's a great saying, we have a big temple here in Thiruvananthapuram, which is called the Padmanabha Swami temple, in which the metallurgy is so strong, the bottom is 1600 degrees Celsius with the coconut shell and top 100 degrees Celsius boiling water or milk. The burthen is as big, 3 elephants can jump inside to clean the vessel. It's so big, which can feed 3000 people at a stretch. The payasam can be cooked inside that. The sweet dish can be cooked inside that. With all the temperature potential differences, the metallurgy is so strong, it is not broken for millions of years. Such metallurgy we have. The bell in most of the temples are thousands of years. Nothing is happening. There is a great saying, Philadelphia, somebody came to understand the metal and they couldn't understand what is the combination, compound which made this metal. So they started hitting on that, it started making a bell. So they called it as bell metal. So the temple metals are called bell metals today because it is making sound. And they tried to recreate that same and created a big tower in which they can have that sound in the center of the municipality, metropolitan city. And the first hit itself, it broke into two. With all the modern technology, people could not recreate that. We have a beautiful mirror which comes from Kerala. Aranmula. The name is Aranmula. How do you understand which is the best metal, best mirror in the world? You keep a paper, you keep your mirror, keep a sharp needle, and if the reflection comes exactly from the surface, that means there is no glass and there is no mirror behind. The thickness of the mirror is not there because the reflection is from the surface. So the mirror is a metal which is polished so that it reflects your face one to one without exaggeration. No convex, no concave, no thickness, no difference from the reflection point. So that means a true reflection. There is only one mirror in the world which can create true reflection. Because the surface is what is reflecting, not the behind the glass, the coating is not what is reflecting. That is made here. It's a metal, not a mirror. The earlier I was talking about the Dantopramabhagam Yantram. It's not a glass, it was a metal. We have a great statue which looks like a big stone. It's not a stone, it's a manufactured stone looking like a stone. That is a chemistry compound. So our chemical science was great. It is called Kaduka Sharkara Yogam. Jaggery and mustard put together mixed is what is created for making that stone. You want examples? I can give plenty. But I think I should not do giving lectures because I believe in discussions. This itself I am continuing because I am not seeing faces. I wish there are few questions. Next half an hour, probably 20 minutes or whatever the time available for you. It's 12:40 in my clock. I am open to questions.